What's up, everybody? This is the 8 to 5 Trader giving you guys my recap. Today is June 4th, 2018. It is Monday, the first trading day of the week. And today I came out pretty good today. Today was a good day. I came out real live with 486 bucks. I made three trades and I came out 418.56 with my net P&L with $59.40 commissions. This is based on the SureTrader platform, and this is in my simulator account. As you can see, Dodge Trader Pro demo. Today I had all of these on my radar for possible trades, and ultimately I traded IQ to the long side, IQ to the short side, and also NKTR. So let's go off with IQ. IQ gapped up a significant amount today. I think they gapped up up to 30% today, I want to say. But I was looking for an entry on IQ, and I ultimately couldn't get as good of an entry that I wanted. But I found an entry here at once the price action hit the 9-moving average right here on the 1 minute. I was thinking to myself, okay, I really want to get in right here, but it was already up 30%. And right here we were forming an ABCD pattern. A, B, and around here was C is when I got in. But when you see on the 1 minute, I feel like my entry was perfect. If it was going to work out, it was going to work out. And if it didn't, it didn't. And ultimately, it did not work out. But the problem that I encountered this is when I went long, I think I went long 200 shares at 31.88. I feel like my entry was perfect, right? I was only risking about 40 bucks right here if you consider the break right here. But the problem is I let this run entirely too far because I was thinking to myself, maybe this will hold the 20, because once it broke the 9 right here, I was like, maybe it'll bounce from here. Then I was thinking to myself, when it went down even more, I was thinking maybe it'll go even, it'll hold the 20. Then as it kept going down and going down, I was like, okay, this isn't working out. But we did get a little pop right here, but ultimately we didn't get the pop that I was looking for. But I should have cut this off a lot sooner than I did. But I held it and ended up paying the price for it. So I lost 130 bucks on that trade. So that was not a good trade, but I did end up switching this to the short side because we did break VWAP and ended up closing below VWAP, and I went short. I think I went short 200 shares, and then we squeezed up just a bit. But being that this is a low float stock, I was really afraid that this would squeeze and go a lot faster. We could have bounced off VWAP and just ran back to high up day. So when we got this little move right here, I covered really fast, thinking that okay, this may go back up, but ultimately it didn't. And I got back in after I covered my position. After we closed below this 9, I went back short. Oh, also the 20 right here, the blue line. The 9 is the purple line. I went back short at VWAP, which is right here. I shorted 200 shares, and I shorted at 31, and I covered my position at the 50 moving average on the 1 minute at 30.39. So I got a good little piece out of that. I got 64 bucks out of that. So that made up for almost half of my loss right here that I got. Actually, yeah, almost half. 65 bucks would have been 65 bucks would have been half. So I made up all of my position almost that I lost, and I could have came back and hit this again. But at this point, I had already made the trade right here on NKTR, and I was up quite a bit. But this trade at the time, after I made not all of this that you see here, but some of this, I had already lost this, and I was down from I think a high of $180 something realized down to 40 after making this bad trade. So I made up a lot of that, but I could have hit this again. Andrew in the chat room that I trade in is Bear Bull Traders. He hit this from, I want to say here, he's of course scaled out. I didn't scale out. I kind of take all of my position when I see these moving averages, which is what I did. But it offers such a good entry right here. We dropped from 30.77 all the way down 2 points. 2 points. Wait, let me see. 30. Yeah, 2 points all the way down to 28.66, 2 points. And it was a very significant move. But if I had held that, even if I had taken off here and got back in and went short again, because that opportunity was right here. We kept closing below. Now you can tell we were forming a trend here. Even after getting the move here, we kept forming that trend all the way down. And we kind of never really broke. But a good exit would have been right here at the low of the previous day close. And also you see I got that 28 level there, which is served as really a strong support level, and also the 200 moving average on the 5 minute. So these three levels were really key right here in keeping this from going down even further. But it was ultimately a good trade. Again, I traded this to the long side very bad, but as I said in my previous videos, I'm a very short bias trader, so I trade things to the short side a lot better than I do the long side. So I'm working on that personally myself. So that is IQ, netted, probably negative 80 once you count the commissions. NKTR was my trade of the day, my beautiful trade of the day, and honestly, I traded it bad, even though you see 552 bucks realized on that, and I'm gonna explain here in a second. So NKTR was weak. It was around 11% down before the market opened. So of course, when it opened, it hit short selling restriction, but we squeezed up here to open. We kind of made a new high barely, and then it closed below VWAP and the non-moving average. I wanted to get in here at minute 4. I was watching it, kind of got the confirmation. Then we started breaking down. I was like, I'm gonna wait. And then we finally, right here was when I was really hoping that we wouldn't lose it too fast. Cause I was like, I'm gonna miss it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I normally take my trades after the first 5 minutes, but some of them I've taken between 3 and 5 minutes. But I wanted to wait because this thing easily was going up and down. You see, this candle right here was 63.30 all the way down to 60.43. So I wanted to make sure that, when I got in this, it was going to be the right trade. But we went down right here. I got in. I shorted, I think, 200 shares. Got the drop here after the close of this woman, and it squeezed instantly, right? It went back up. It offered another entry right here, but I didn't touch it. I think I was trading IQ at the time, right around here, or at least I was watching for other opportunities. But we got the move back down here, and I went back short here. We kept closing below this non-moving average on the woman. We never broke above it, so I was like, it's time for another short. But when we were right here, I wanted to go here, but it dropped so fast that ultimately when I got in, it was kind of late. I wanted, at this point, when it kept moving down, I was like, okay, I'm going to short it at the break of lower day. So we broke it down, and we went down, and I honestly thought that when I covered that I shorted at 58, 58 even, and I honestly thought that when I covered, we were in the low 57s. So I ended up covering, I think, for a small loss. So the price action consolidated, squeezed up to the non-moving average ever so slowly and slightly. Then eventually, I looked at this right here. I was like, okay, we closed above the 9, below the 9, and I shorted again. I was like, it's going back down. Like, it's still weak. People still want to short it. It's going back down. So I looked at this. I shorted at 257.82. And it started to squeeze up, and I got a little nervous because I was like, oh, man, it's about to reverse. It was already kind of extended on the 5-minute. This moving average was so far away, it's known to squeeze back up to this. So you see right here, it squeezed up here, and then squeezed up here, and it kept going. So I was thinking that this was going to happen. But it didn't fully break the non-moving average, and then it fell off a cliff. And ultimately, when we got here, I was just thinking to myself, oh, my gosh, I am up so much right now. And that was honestly the wrong mindset to have. I think this is what brought me back into the, I think this is what threw me over the edge of, okay, I'm done trading now. Because I think at the time at IQ, see this IQ trade, this was my last trade. Let me see, this was my last trade right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this was my last trade. So these trades were about 2 minutes off. And when I got here, I was like, oh man, I need to get out. I need to get out now because I don't know what's going to happen, right? And again, we were following this trend line, and I didn't want it to squeeze up, but it was just making perfect, just lower highs, lower lows. It was no reason for me to get out. But my strategy, like I said in my other previous videos, is I look for these trends because I like these trends where we're constantly bouncing off the non-moving average very cleanly, and then ultimately I get out once we break right here. Or when we hit a level. But my ultimate level target was like 55 right here, which is what I have mapped out here. I was not expecting, and of course anything can happen, I wasn't expecting the price action to touch all the way to the 50s before it decided to finally squeeze. But that was later in the day, but we got down to the 52s. But I took this trade off very prematurely. If you see my other trades, I would literally ride this line all the way down until we finally break here, and that would at least got me another, granted with 200 shares, that would have been loss of $200, assuming I didn't cover anything. But that, from where I was at 55.94 down to 53s, that was at least, I left at least $400 on the table. So I could have covered it here as soon as we squeeze here. Well, we stopped here, we started consolidating, we're going back up. That could have been an opportunity to get out then, but it is what it is. But ultimately, I did not follow this strategy, and that is why I say I traded this bad. I did not trade it to the best of my ability, and I lost out on profits on that. But these are the trades, like I mentioned, that bring me or anybody from like a small account to the big share sizes, versus like you losing on, you know, trades so much and then you missing out on the opportunities on the ones that you really need to let the winners run and cut the losers. Today is a prime example. I didn't cut my losses enough, but luckily I hit NKTR again, because I was looking at maybe a barely almost break even day versus a $400 and some day. So, you know, I got very lucky with that. So that's why I say I did not trade this as good as my ability, because we didn't break the non-moving average at any point right here. We literally just rolled all the way down, it was just so clean. It was such a beautiful trade. This trade, when I was trading this, it was down like 25 to 30%. NKTR dropped all the way. It was down 40%. In the pre-market, I want to say it dropped. Let's see, it dropped from 90 all the way down to the 60s. So, you know, it was a good day nonetheless. But these are the things that I have to look at to make sure that I'm doing correctly, and I ultimately didn't do that today. So that's something that I'm gonna take to heart to make sure that I'm paying more attention to that and not letting emotions get in the way, because emotions right here got in the way. I was looking at the money here. I didn't have my P&L up here, but, you know, mentally I knew that my entry was at almost 58 and we were in the 55s. I knew what my position was and my entry points. But IQ, like, I gotta look at this too. Like, this is unacceptable. I should have cut that right there. When that closed, no matter what, I should have cut it, and I could have easily have got back in. I should have just cut that. That was a piss poor trade, just a terrible trade. But luckily, I came out positive. This is my biggest day. I've never had a $500 trade or $500 positive on one trade, or rather one ticker. I have gotten in the 300s, but, you know, this was really good trades. I'm really proud of myself. But also I had Mark on my watch list. It really just traded. It didn't trade like anything today. It traded like garbage, hot garbage. Even though you see these moves right here, it just didn't have volume, so it was garbage. So I ultimately didn't pay attention to it. In NXPI, I missed this, although I did see NKPI right around here when it closed below VWAP the second time. I could have easily taken that. I was looking at this at the open when it squeezed up, and I was like, it's going to eventually probably come back down because it was already gapped down. In the pre-market, I just was watching NKTR and making big bucks on that because I saw that as a huge opportunity with it just pushing down. It just had no breaks. Bud was a lot of chop. I was looking at Bud around here. I saw that it closed below the VWAP after the first 5, but ultimately I didn't take it. I didn't like the price action. It was very choppy. I have a habit of trading very choppy price action, and I'm trying to train myself just not to touch these kind of stocks when they're not doing anything. And plus the range was 55 cents down to 10s. It really, honestly, it was choppy. I shouldn't have been trading it. Glad I didn't, and it really ultimately wasn't worth my time. PBR squeeze pushed down Andrew in my chat room, the moderator. He took this trade. I think he took a loss on this, I want to say, because I don't remember if he took a loss on it or not, but I want to say he took this trade. He took this trade also. We all made big bucks on IQ. MU, I saw MU around here when it made that forcibly push through VWAP. That is what I was looking for on IQ. I was looking for this move on here, and we didn't get it as soon as I went short. We popped up right here before we finally sold off. You know, MU, it kind of popped up right there, which is a similar move. You see that right there? It kind of popped up before it finally broke down. So I guess that is kind of a similar move. Well, we consolidated more here. Well, no, it's right here. Yeah, we popped up a little bit, then we broke down. So that is kind of a similar move, but that is right here is what I was looking for on IQ. And that's those are the trades that I did today. But I was looking at MU, and when I made the trade on NKTR, I literally just stopped trading. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing anything else. You know, I will say this, that even though I didn't capitalize on this like I should have, I told myself that, you know, enough is enough. I guess I could have let it go up, go down a little bit more, but it kept going up and down on some of these candles, and that was kind of freaking me out a little bit because I didn't want it to go like skyrocket and just squeeze. But, you know, I had a target, and ultimately I made some good profits on it. Again, in my simulator account, but you know, if I get everything down, I can go back live. I feel very confident about my trading right now. I've never been this confident about my trading, but ultimately I got to grow this to hopefully a 5-digit number, and I will be definitely confident knowing that I have everything I need to know mentally, that I'm doing what I need to do to make sure that I can replicate what I'm doing in the simulator in real money. So, but like I said, 418 bucks, 59 commissions, 486 realized. I'm very pleased with myself. This lets me know that I'm doing something right. This lets me know that my trading is improving, coming from the days where I was having $300 and $400 losses, and I was barely break even on wins and losses, and commissions were eating up everything. I feel like I'm doing something very right, and I just need to make sure that I need to capitalize on these moves when they're presented, and make sure that I close these trades out. It's, you know, and just get out of them, man. Because like this could have easily, this kept going down. This could have easily been an account killer. Somebody holding on to that from 31 all the way down to 28, or at least to VWAP. I mean, that could really hurt a small account, you know. But tomorrow I'm going to open up heftily over 4,000 equity. Man, it feels good. But that's all I got for y'all. I'm gonna have a link to the chat room that I'm in the description, and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date with my journey from hopefully going from a simulator account, a small account, to a medium-sized account in a simulator, to hopefully back to real money in live. And hope y'all have a great day. Peace out.